we begin the show.
Alrighty then. So we weren't able to go last week because our per DM had issues with his power.
Definitely. Mm-hmm.
It's too hot.
We are all partially fluid. To be honest, we're all supposed to be 2/3 fluid. At the moment, it feels close to 3/3.
My office is practically in a 19th century wine cellar, and it is nice and cool. But see, as soon as you step out of the room my office is in, the rest of the building is an oven. But yeah, it's 29 degrees here in Ireland. Yeah. It's 32 degrees where D is in Oregon.
37.
Oh my god! How are you? No.
It was okay, guys. I told you the other day, indoors it was 50 that one day that I was having problems. 37 is mild.
You alive?
Yeah, well, it was really bad. Let me just say that things were cooking outside on the day. You could actually cook food on the sidewalk outside my house. They had a news person who went out to the street and cooked something on it because of how hot the streets were.
I'm actually really curious now. Are we going with Celsius or Fahrenheit?
Celsius.
Fahrenheit was 122 degrees.
I was going to say, yeah, because we're 23 at the moment.
I mean, sorry.
So it's all good. I'm not complaining. We're at 23. But yeah, global warming's not a thing.
A lot of the Americans and Australians are making fun of the UK and Ireland.
Yes, a lot of people here are making fun of.
We are not acclimatized to this heat.
No, it's really rough for you guys.
Our homes are designed for temperate and cold and wet temperatures, which means they are insulated to all hell, and air conditioning does not exist outside of big businesses.
Jurnis.
You're not even guaranteed to have one in shopping centres or your workplace because it's never needed. So we don't have aircon. Yes?
What exactly is a wet temperature?
Humidity.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Our stuff is not prepared for high humidity either. It's ridiculous. Yeah. And the worst thing is, there is currently a fucking plague of flies in my city right now. Every house is infested. You cannot get fly or wasp killer for love nor money, so I went to the pet shop and bought flea stuff to try and kill the flies in my home.
Aww.
I've been there.
Yeah, there are flies just all over my living room right now.
I'm so sorry.
Anyway,
I couldn't handle that. Flies upset me. I'd have been in crisis because I can't. I'm terrified of flies.
Every now and again, in the background of my my recording, you will hear a crack or a pop. That is a fly killer.
Yeah.
That is one of those little bug lights.
I might just hang one of those up.
And that is just cracking every few minutes. It's just crack, crack, crack. And these fuckers are big too, massive blue balls. Anywho, there was something.
Peanut Gallery here. Yeah, your stream is still set to be Sea of Thieves instead of Dungeons and Dragons.
Refresh your
page. Game played.
It's all good.
Anyhow,
tiny Jurnis.
Still Sea of Thieves.
Enough about my bitching about the heat, because it's not that I'm just sitting here in literally just a t-shirt with a fan at my feet. But
I mean, that's what I'm doing. Let's be fair.
I'm wearing my Valentine tank top, my Valentine locksmith. So I'm all set to go.
Yes,
Master
let us tell the internet that most of us are in states of near nudity.
I mean, let the fan art come as it may. That's all I'm going to say. Well, anyways.
Wow. Oh my god.
I've actually had fan art made of me, not my characters of me, but that's the story for another day. Anyway, in the meantime, enough of the existential horror that is real life. Let's move to the existential horror of my world.
Yes, where Jurnis nearly died in the first 20 minutes of going down below the earth.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, these things happen. To be fair, you
That's
did
cheese.
fight against a fairly powerful entity. For those who do not know, the Aboleth is a CR10 entity, which means it is designed to go up against a party of around 4 level 10 characters, unless I'm mistaken.
That's correct.
So yeah, you being level 5 babbies, an Aboleth and a couple of Sahwagan fish dudes, you made fairly decent work of it. For the most part, you were reasonably unscathed. Also, the Aboleth itself did seem to have an interesting attitude to being killed. However, there are several of you who are feeling a little rough, green around the gills, shall we say. I believe poor Mr. Tahu, he's still suffering a point of exhaustion. Secondly, your merry Minotaur, Dot Merivale, is currently suffering with 2 levels of exhaustion. Because that was some unpleasantly cold water that you all were in.
Yeah.
And at the moment...
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, at the moment, you are still in a cold, quiet, damp cavern, and it is fucking cold, guys. It is very unpleasant in here. However, given the fact that you have a little bit of a moment to breathe, the atmosphere seems to have calmed down a little bit. You're no longer expecting imminent attack. The white, milky, rotting fish smell from the dead entity, notwithstanding. What would you guys like to do? To remind you, you were making your way to the Jet Fang tribe nest, which I believe, according to the map that your Veil Guide Gil has, is basically through a ladder, which is at the top of the little hill of ruined statue parts that you are on.
The one where Dot's resting?
Yes. I would say you do look up, and there is a rope ladder there.
Oh, just what I needed, a rope ladder.
It's fairly worn looking, by the way. But it's
fairly
there.
what?
Worn looking.
Oh, I'm sure that'll be no problem for me to climb. Oh dear, it's been a long time since I adventured.
We really need to get you to that feral settlement.
Cough, cough, Kobold.
No, I'm coming with you, and besides, my dear...
Kobold settlement, sorry.
My dear Miss Seedie, yes, kobolds. Kobolds. I'm very fond of kobolds. They are very, very, very decent folk if you get to know them. There's so much prejudice and bigotry. I can't stand it. But in any case, don't mind me. I'm exhausted.
Exactly. Come on, let's get you up that ladder.
My dear, given our size difference, I don't think that your assistance is going to be any help to me and might hurt you. So I'm going to get up on my own.
Well, I can at least give you some support.
So,
at least give you some support and not exactly carry you.
Fine, thank you. Much appreciated.
So
As you
is
said,
the
I
rest
am
of the
grandmother
party?
of the group.
I apologize, ladies first. Ladies first.
Oh, I just said yes, thank you. As you said, I am something of the grandmother of the group. I appreciate it.
Were you by any chance offended at what I said earlier?
No, I've learned a lot. I've lived long enough to not be offended by people pointing out my accurate age.
I wasn't calling you old at all. You could have been significantly younger than me, but it's still... You've been cooking us delicious meals, and it's been very sweet. It's kind of lovely.
Oh, thank you. I'm fine.
I do not attribute your maternal nature to your age at all, if that's what bothered you.
I'm fine. Just I need to go lie down. I'm very much appreciated, Miss Seedie.
Let's not lay down here, yes?
Yes, no, I'm getting up. I'm going to try to climb this ladder. Everyone enjoy the show!
So,
how are you lot doing over there?
Yeah. So, what is the rest of the group doing down here near the rotting fish monster?
You.
Is it a ladder or is it just a rope?
It is basically. I would say it is a. It's a. Like a series of nets. So it's like it's a couple of ropes that have been lashed together in certain parts. And it has there are pins that have been wedged into the floor, so it's not swinging freeform. It is something that is used quite a bit.
Okay.
I will say this as well. Despite double, I would say this: you have double disadvantage. Oh no, you don't. No. That's not how double exhaustion works, is it? No. But yeah, with those were some very good rolls, both a 19 and a 20. Dot. I would actually say this one time, yes. How would you like to do this to the rope?
So basically, Dot manages to stumble to her feet, then she wiggles her hands around and shakes her head, and then looks at the rope ladder, and then goes hut 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 straight up the ladder like it's nothing. You just watch her. She's like, she looks like she's done this 100 times. This is the end of the combat training montage.
For those of you who are watching, this is the most surreal and unexpected moment you have ever seen. And you've seen some shit.
This chubby, bovine, emphasis on the bovine Minotaur Holstein woman in a flower hat, just like paramilitary up the rope ladder, no problem.
Nice view.
So, who is going up next?
Seedie's right next to the ladder.
Okay, give me an athletics check, please, my dear.
Shouldn't they make an insight check as to whether they should stay out of the way of the bottom of the ladder till she's up and out?
That is up to the players. That is up to the players and what they think the characters would do. I would say this, Dot, as you are heading up, the way the cavern is set up, it's not so much stalactites, but you see that the roof of this area, it's sort of bowed. So instead of like an arch that curves up, everything is sort of like bowed and sort of like sunken and lowered to the point where there's this fairly large, crevice that you're able to get through despite your frame. That's where most of the ropes are connected to. And as you continue to climb up, you don't get to flat ground for a little bit. It does take, I would say, a good minute or two of climbing before you eventually find enough of a shelf to where you could actually stand free.
Yeah, so as she's going up, she's like telling a story. She's like, just like, this reminds me of a time a long time ago. It was quite she's just like moving on up until she gets to that shelf. Yeah. And it fades out of sight or sound or whatever.
I would say she's about 60 feet up into this crevice before she moves to the side.
Let me just move out of the way and give so the rest of you can come.
So, Seedie, an 11. Dot is exhausted. It didn't look that difficult, but the moment you actually get onto the rope, you realise, oh, this is... have any of you guys ever actually done, like, rope climbing, zip lining, that kind of thing?
Yes.
For those of you who haven't, it is a lot... It's very different from watching to actually experiencing it and having the rope move on you. Things that you think are, free-flowing are actually very rigid. Things that you think are stiff are actually, very flexible and will, quiver with every single slight tremor. So it takes you a bit. You do manage to get up there because, the rope is there to help. However, if it wasn't for, this being a dedicated system to help you traverse up here. If you were using like a regular single rope, you have the impression that it would not be going well for you right now.
And I will say that Dot is bent down and trying to help anyone climbing.
I would say that. I mean, how far is you reach? Because this is a 60-foot climb.
Oh, no. I meant right when they get to the same shelf she's on.
Okay.
Like to help them climb in case they slip at the last second.
Okay.
She's not going to reach all the way down 60 feet now.
Okay. So, next on the list.
Oh, by the way, just a sec. With my passive ability Cat's Claws, would you say I made it to 20 feet? I'll post it here.
Okay. You have a climbing speed of 20 feet. Yeah, basically what that means is I would say it's difficult. It is difficult to get up here because it's an unusual and slightly fluid in motion experience to try and get up here. But with your claws, you're actually making better time than you would have if it was just regular hands and feet. So you are making speed. However, it is still difficult, given given the athletics roll. But regardless, you do make it up there eventually. So, who is going next?
I'm just going to post a picture of Seedie to Dice&Dolts.
Should we try and see if the puppy can spider climb their way up?
Oh.
There you go.
Yeah, I was going to ask if I needed to roll anything for that.
I would say, because it's a very thin system. That's a fair question. Although Jurnis Springsinger does have wings.
That is true.
Newborn baby wings.
If the dog can get up under their own power, or is one of us going to have to try and carry a squirmy puppy?
I would say, dog, if you want to give it a shot, give me an athletics check and really impress us, though it is going to be with disadvantage because while you don't have arms and legs, you only have 4 legs.
I have a suggestion.
Walk up the stone wall and...
That is a possibility that dog can explore if dog wants. However... that would involve dog paddling across the water.
Well, I had another idea.
Yes.
Doesn't this reach the ceiling?
No, it does not. This is a small island in the middle, and above it, the ceiling bows low, but connecting the ceiling to this rocky outcrop, this little island, is the rope bridge.
So, because he's basically wearing a harness. So what if Gil tied a rope around his harness and then we could pass it up and maybe lift him into the tunnel and then he could walk the rest of the way? I don't know.
You could always just have him tied to Gil's back and have both of your characters, go up at the same time.
That's adorable. Doggy backpack.
Yeah. Rat girl with a dog backpack.
Dot would feel so bad for having not thought about Tiberius. She is exhausted for sure.
Yeah, we can do that. I mean, he'd be her size, but he can put his front leggies over her shoulders.
Okay. In that case, let's just... Oh, also, Seedie. Boop. You are out of the way. So, Gil and Tiberius. If you would give me... Gil, would you please give me a athletics check to make your way up the rope? A 13. Okay. Again, it takes you a little while, but you're able to get up there. No real issue. So, and Skullface is actually going to look to the rest of the group and say, well, I don't trust this thing. All of a sudden, this is the only accent I can do for goblins. it's more of an Australian, isn't it? But yeah, Skullface is basically going to keep watch as everyone else is heading up. He's got Letitia out, and he's eyeing the white corpse very warily.
And I picture him being all like, "If what bothered me is up there, then they'll be sorry."
Yeah, he doesn't look happy. Also, there we go. There's Mr. Tahu. Tahu will also hold up behind him and make sure everyone else is covered. So Ang or Jurnis, who wishes to go next?
I shall.
Okay.
Would it be a strength check to basically try and carry Graz up as well?
If you want to carry Graz with you in one go, yes, it would be first an athletics, then I would say it is your choice. It's either an athletics and a strength check, or athletics with disadvantage.
Well, I have a -1 to strength, but nothing to athletics. So we'll try the athletics with disadvantage because this is going to end really well.
What's the worst that could happen?
That could happen.
Okay, so I have a question for the remaining individuals. I would say this. Ang, would you say you were hanging around just below Jurnis, waiting for your turn on the rope?
No, he's smart enough to stand to the side.
Fair enough, then. Okay, so because the roll was so low, Jurnis, if you could give me how much fall damage is, let's say, 50 feet?
10-foot fall.
1d6 per 10, okay. I'm very sorry to say, could you give me 6d6 for you and Graz?
Oh no!
Who is tied to you?
I expected
Okay.
that I wasn't even going to get off the damn grind. But nope.
Okay, that is, I am going to do that for you. One moment. Oop. And that is going to be... Actually, I think I only took 9 from you. If you could just take another 10. Yeah. So, you two are down here. You are both knocked prone.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Maybe... Red, I love you and all, but maybe you should just try flying up there and I can get up myself. Yeah?
Sure, you go ahead. I'm just going to lie here for a moment.
All right. And Graz is going to up the side of the rope with a natural 19. She's going to keep her comments to herself.
It's so too bad that she didn't respond. But yeah, but first you have to get up and get so I can get out from under you.
I would say she actually did that.
Yeah. I'm just gonna lie here. That's great and all, but
Yeah, look, that's nice and all, Red, but yeah, bit to the left. Oh, there we go. All right. And she goes up smooth as butter. So, would you like to try again, Jurnis?
Sure. It's the first time she complained about being under me. Still.
It is.
Oh
it
my
really
god.
Is. I would say as you are... I'll be kind. Give me a... let's see. What were we doing last time for it? Give me an acrobatics check as you make it about... this time, getting really frustrated. I would say you make it about 10-20 feet before one of your hooves cuts through part of a worn part of the rope, and you start tumbling down. Give me a acrobatics check. You try to bring your wings out, and you basically just impact on the top of one of these rocks and start sliding down. I would say roll me 1. In fact, yeah, you just take 1 extra point of bludgeoning damage.
You know what? I'm just gonna lie here for a moment. Why don't you go ahead?
Would you?
I'll be there in a moment.
Would you like to head up?
She's lying where she's fallen, just eyes closed, going, "Why did I come here?
If I lay here.
If I just lay here."
But yeah, I see.
With me 'cause she fucked off up the rope.
Jurnis, don't look at the gifs we've been posting.
No.
I see them.
I cannot wait. I cannot wait until I watch I cannot wait until I catch up on player chat later. But yeah, Icy, if you just give me an athletics check, please, sir. 12. Yeah, a 12 is what you needed. You're able to get up, no real problem. If anyone wants to drop down an extra piece of rope or something, that might help.
I was actually going to ask if I could do something, GM.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
With Dot's abilities, despite her exhaustion, would she be able to use her Ezebekoven tools to coat a rope with some stickiness to make it easier to hold on to, like some spray, like the way that they do in real life, like the fantasy equivalent of that?
Yeah. I think that's reasonable. Now, which feature are you actually thinking of for this?
I'm trying to find the one that. 1 second. It's the one that she uses to make something better. Infuse item?
Infuse item. At second level, you gain the ability to imbue mundane items with magical infusions. You've already used one of them.
Yes, she gets one more.
Yes, you have one more. If that's what you wish to do, I will allow you to do that.
How do I make it go?
I believe you need to actually click on the little, you know where the icon is on the far left, and it turns to a yes. Just hit that, and it is now activated. So, you lower it down.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, please, no. You describe what it is you're doing. Sorry.
She twists the oven, which is normally on her side. She twists it around, pops it open, messes around in it, rattle, pulls out a thick, viscous blue liquid with sparkles in it, and coats the rope that she has in her backpack with it. Oh dear, this should make it a little easier. And then she rolls it down, and she's also going, despite her exhaustion, she is going to try to tie it to the rope itself or to something that's next to her so that she can make it easy for Jurnis to use it to pull herself up.
How long is the rope in your inventory?
It's I didn't ever specify the size. It's just inventory. It's just adventure size.
I'm looking. It says 50 feet, so it is 10 feet short. So, Jurnis, can you make 10 feet? Let's find out.
I was actually going to have Dot say, "You can climb 10 feet on the rope, can't you?"
Actually, please bear with me one moment. Is there a drum? Is there a drum thing here? There is no drum.
Fucking drum roll.
Come on, Jurnis.
I've got that. Athletics check whenever you're ready. Yeah. How would you like to describe Jurnis tackling this this mountain?
Can I ask though? Doesn't Jurnis have a point of exhaustion, so she's at disadvantage?
Does Jurnis have exhaustion?
I thought she had 1 point.
1 point does not influence your ability checks.
Sorry.
I think that's the second level.
Okay.
I'm gonna double check that for carry on.
I think it's a 3. That's why I'm asking. Because I think I only had 1 point of exhaustion, and I was at disadvantage on everything.
1 point of exhaustion disadvantage on ability checks.
Okay.
Oh.
So ignore the rage climb. It's just kind of like, you know, my ears haven't stopped ringing since I impacted with that wall. Can't see straight. This is bullshit.
Would you like me to drop you down a rope and tie it around your waist or something?
Some more rope? Does anyone have any more? She's like fidgeting with the top of it where she tied the knot. She's trying to undo it. Like, does anyone have more rope so we can lower it a little?
Graz has rope.
Yeah.
So, Graz would hand the rope over, presumably. Dot would hastily tie
You'd
another
presume that,
flag.
wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Nah, she does.
Yeah. And says, tie it around and then use this slack potion to climb up.
I will say this.
Sticky.
I will say this in the interest of time and flavour. This is what happens. Graz just scuttles back down. You can see a bit of a poorly hid smirk on her face as she's just getting the rope and she's tying it around Jurnis. Next time you just have to ask, kiddo. And she just scuttles back up with a cheeky wink. And
Lucky
if
adorable.
I know. Now, who is helping Dot pull this rope? Would Seedie and Gil be assisting?
Yes.
And Dang. There we go. So anyone who's assisting, just give me a basic strength check. It's going to be the best of 3. So that's an 8.
Oh!
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
All of us together still suck.
Okay, so that's I would say 12 and 2, 8, 12. I would say the general average you needed to get was 10, and I said the best of 3. So 2 8s and a 12, that just makes it to an average of 10. So, because otherwise we'll be here all freaking day, and I love it.
I wouldn't expect her to be so heavy.
Have you been eating bricks?
Well,
I'm waterlogged.
Graz looks like she's about to say something to that, but keeps her mouth
Don't
shut
you
and just snickers.
fucking dare.
I swear I didn't give her that much cheese.
On the plus side, you look like a rather fetching pinata.
Now, it will also be noted that now Jurnis, if she's using the rope to climb, also in addition to the waist around her we're pulling, she does have sticky blue, sparkly hands there.
I love it. So, as we are heading to the next section, I would say this is where Tahu and Skullface make their own way up, because I'm not going to have people roll if they're not here. That's just mean. So.
Crane is back home. Hang on.
Not a problem. They will have plenty to do in a little while. Yeah. It's all good. So the next section of your journey, as we leave this area, let's just bring back to the Theatre of the Mind screen. So the cavern that you guys are working your way through, it's very difficult to get much flat flooring to work through for a while. It does take you all a little bit of time, and on occasion there are 1 or 2 more instances of having to climb up a vertical surface with the ropes and pitons in order to get through. But you have the relevant material, and this particular path seems a well-traveled one. There are several preset climbing ropes and other handholds that have been carved into the side, which make things fairly reasonable. And aside from 1 or 2 instances where Dot and, surprisingly, Jurnis have a little bit of issue, you eventually find yourself in a slightly different area. And just before we get there, because it took you a little bit of a time to get to this location, I'm sorry to say, I'm going to have everybody roll for their resources. So, everybody check how many you have left and roll that many d6. Anything that rolls up as a 1 delete. And also, I'm sorry, you should be able to see this. Give me 1 second, please, my dears.
So, how many d6s again?
You started with 5, and the idea is that you guys were keeping track as things go on, because this is basically your light, your fuel, your food, that kind of thing.
So, if I roll a 1, I remove a resource.
Exactly that. So it's a slowly dwindling resource over time. Okay.
What was that again? Oh.
So bear with me a moment. Unfortunately, that particular one there, you should be able to see it now.
Yeah.
There we go. Apologies about that.
Oh.
Okay.
I like
So-
the dog has their own resource.
Oh, I'm assuming that's for Gil.
Yeah, I don't know how to change it.
It's all good. Okay, so
One for Jurnis.
there we go.
No, not
Okay.
roll two.
Dog's gonna eat too.
So it takes a little bit of time, but eventually, you guys.
There.
Let me just bring up the description for this location. So,
If we had a ranger, this wouldn't be a problem because you could find resources every day.
I mean, not to throw shade to, but you actually might have a ranger in your group. Let me just double check something real quick. Yeah, you have a ranger in your group. Your guide, who's leading you through this place.
Yeah, hey. Do I need to roll to find the resources?
You are. I
resources?
mean, to be fair,
start of every day. Yeah.
To be fair, you are taking them to a place where there are resources.
Oh yeah. Well, that's what I thought. But
yeah. So it takes you a little while, but eventually you find yourselves in a new location, and boop. So you find yourself in a region that you, Gil, know is referred to as Whitestone Crossing. So, there we are. Slabs of crushed white pearlescent stone, which is going to appear familiar to any of you who spent any time in the Vel Temple, mark the various few flat surfaces in this uneven and heavily travelled section. This cave connects with several others. You can see several different entrances with one or two small groups passing through. You notice a few kobolds, one or two other Veril, and the occasional Derro wandering through as well. You see various people, exchanging notes. Bags change hands, resources are being gathered. There's almost a little bit of a marketplace vibe to it in the Underdark here. Now, after a little bit, you come to a particular location where it's primarily just kobolds, a small group of the black scale kobolds. This is the first time as well that you've actually seen them with weapons, at least outside of the hostile encounters you had in the mines a while back. They are guarding the entrance to a particularly large cavern, and there isn't so much signage, but you do see various symbols that have been painted across the pearlescent white stone in Draconic, which, unless I'm mistaken, none of you read.
I believe Aang does. Double check.
It should be on your...
Nope. I'm thinking of somebody else.
Not a problem.
Dot does read it.
Okay. Then Dot, you make out very poorly written Jet Fang keep out.
Jet Fang keep out. Or
You all would assume, if Dot says that out loud, that this is the entrance to the Jet Fang Kobold nest.
well, we must be here. After you all. I can keep up, I promise. Don't worry about me. I'm fine. It's going to be a great opportunity to meet someone new. Maybe start up some commerce.
Come on, Dot. Ladies first.
Question for the DM.
Yes, my dear.
While we're walking towards this place, would you allow me to cast a ritual spell while walking, or do I have to stop and focus on it?
I would say a ritual spell usually requires you to actually stop and focus on it. What is it you're trying to do?
I was going to cast Comprehend Languages.
If you want, you can ask them to hold on a minute.
Well, Dot does speak Draconic. So I think we should be okay. But I'm just letting them know that I have this ability. Just
Okay.
in case.
Good to know.
You focus on keeping well, my dear. You've had a bit of a few nasty spills and some aggression sent your way. I think it's best for you to rest up. I shall do the translating. It's not a problem. It's one of my many skills.
Why do I feel like I was just patted on the head and sent to bed?
That's one of my many skills, my dear.
Did climbing the ladder by any chance dry Dot somewhat?
She's a little less damp than what she was, but she is still fairly damp.
Yeah, she's
Jurnis
she's
dried her
trying.
off with prestidigitation at the end of last
Oh,
session.
yes!
yeah, that's right.
There we are. No, she did. So, scratch that. Yeah, Dot is now
Still
dry.
pretty miserable, though, because
Yeah.
everybody's having a rough time, and she's eager to get them all in a safe place so she can talk some things out.
Never poo-poo prestidigitation.
Never.
More
Prestidigitation
more
is a very
versatile than you
useful
think.
skill.
Sorry,
Never.
I'm sorry, I hate to interrupt. Poo-poo prestidigitation? Who? No one poo-poos
Well, they're-
prestidigitation.
I'm sure there's someone out there that does.
They've clearly never played the game then. Anyone who's played this game agrees it's the best spell. Carry on, Dennis.
I would say
Fireball.
Toll of the Dead. Yeah, and Fireball's pretty good, but for me it's Toll of the Dead. Anyway, the guards at first, they sort of almost aggressively start to square up a little as you approach. However, one of them sort of like takes a look at you and just like, there's a little bit of back and forth. They eventually, there's some whispering, which Dot would make out the general gist of it being, no, they're expected, let them through. Queen wants to see them.
You're expected. And then she looks back at the others and says, in Draconic, so you get to hear this. She get to hear this. She's talking in Draconic, but with her same accent.
And what was it you were saying in Draconic to them?
I was speaking nonsense, like what Draconic sounds like, the Dovakin Shasturas, that kind of
Yeah.
Shastura, Dovakina.
I think
Is
Dot
it like Dory trying to speak whale?
Yes.
Yes, and
Okay, so the
they may have trouble understanding it, but
it's a very thick accent.
yes.
I will say it does take them a moment, but then eventually they're like, yeah, sure. Come on through. So.
Oh, and she does ask, do you speak Common? My friends don't speak Draconic.
That's unfortunate for them, isn't it? Nah, Queen and a couple of the grants do.
Oh, good. Oh, by the way, I brought cookies for everyone.
Cookies? Are you trying to retain any of the cookies?
She's not trying to retain the cookies. She brought the big bag of cookies. Remember, she had that. Remember, I said she had brought the cookies for everybody.
Yes, I can confirm you no longer have a big bag of cookies.
Oh, she is not going to try to give them up until such time as they're in the big group, so to make sure everybody gets one.
These are kobolds we're dealing with.
Yeah, she doesn't know how many there are. I know that there's going to be too many for the cookies, but
I would
mean,
well,
they
no.
might just take them.
Yeah. I would say there's about 5 or 6 guards here, but they basically we'll take. Go through. Quick. Go on. So
You know what? I'm just going to do this the short way.
What are you doing?
She's just gonna cast a spell.
Okay, so yeah, you can now understand what's going on too.
I hope you do realize that those cookies are not going to make it past the guard post.
Yes, I suppose not. I was intending to share them, but maybe I'll just give them the recipe and then they can make others.
So, you guys are, I would say you have a little bit of an escort. At least 3 guards are leading you through the winding caverns. And as you go deeper into this area, you do notice, and as I've shown on the the Theatre of the Mind picture, there is, for the first time in a little while, visible signs of construction. The area that you're in seems to be part of a sunken and ruined corridor. Part of the walls and everything are tilted to almost a 45-degree angle. Gives you a bit of a vertigo vibe. However, there is several wooden and stone slabs that have been lashed together and jerry-rigged to basically down the crevice or the corner where the original wall and floor would meet. So it's sort of like a jerry-rigged stairway out of what was originally designed to be a simple flat corridor. However, as you make your way down, you start to see little bits and pieces of light, various torches, many kobolds making their way through this area, all of them black scale. You also would notice, again, most of the stone here has that same white pearlescent quality that you would recognize from your time in the Veil Temple. Has this, it's almost translucent, almost see-through in parts. It has a very odd, almost like waxy quality to it, but it's fairly sturdy. You are held for a little bit as one of the guards makes their way through into a larger chamber. Large burning torches in the walls. You hear various noises, the chattering of kobolds. Always a little bit of music playing in the background as well. Eventually, however, they make their way back out and allow you into this location here. Inside this large open cavern, the walls are absolutely destroyed. It's piles upon piles of stone and rubble and layers of shelves which have been carved into them. And surrounding you, because the DM wasn't really able to get that many tokens to work, are hundreds of kobolds chittering to each other. Basically, imagine that scene from Black Panther, with the big the combat and everything. Yes. They're basically just chilling out on the various shelves, looking down.
I absolutely did not bring enough cookies.
As you look around, towards the front, on the ground floor, are various cushions and blankets. Music is being played as various more well-dressed and more well-treated and slightly fatter-looking kobolds are relaxing, enjoying the entertainment. However, the main center of the room is dominated by a almost pristine looking dais, this large ancient looking stone altar on 2 tiers, 3 tiers actually. In the middle of this strange metallic array, it's almost like a metal cage with gigantic amber pieces that are cracked and you know, I wouldn't say they're covered in dust, but they, for those of you who've been playing around with ancient technology recently, it's pretty clear that this is some sort of device of some description, but it doesn't have the energy or the slight glow that indicates it is active in any way. However, sat on a throne that seems to be made of solid amber is a black kobold with a ornate headdress, white flowing robe, and absolutely surrounded by piles and piles and piles of gold.
DM,
Yes.
this amber throne by any chance wouldn't happen to have a plasticky texture to it?
A what texture to it?
Basically, it's the kobold sitting in a plastic throne.
Give me a investigation check, if you'd be so kind.
Not that Seedie would know what plastic is.
Oh, yeah, no.
It is an odd, waxy material. It's unlike anything that you've seen before. Although, actually, that's a lie. It almost seems to be a similar texture to your gun, but of different colour, obviously.
It's a plastic chair.
Hmm.
Now, would it look small to someone of my size?
No, it is a we would say it is a regular sized chair, which means that this kobold seems to be almost swallowed by it. But it is covered in various, beautiful cushions, and there's fabric and everything to help pad it out.
Are we being ushered toward them or just here?
You are to a certain point, basically towards these steps here. And as you get through, one of the kobolds will pipe up and present you. Queen Shazra Jitfank. These are the individuals who assisted us recently against the hated goblins. And I would say, as they say that, there's a bit of a side eye to Graz and Skullface. So, what would you guys like to do?
Dot gives a grand bow, curtsy, combination, back down to her knee, and then comes back up and says, in Draconic, much respect to the most gracious one before us.
Oh, I love your accent. That's so delightful. This is all in. That's all in Draconic, by the way. The voice comes from Queen Jetfang.
And then she says, one matter. In Draconic, she says, one matter. All apologies. My compatriots do not speak Draconic. If you wish me to translate, I'm more than happy to.
Oh, that's okay, honey. I can speak common fine. Don't worry about it. But no, appreciate the effort. Thank you so much. And then in common, you hear, greetings, travelers. I am Queen Shazra Jetfang. Welcome to my kingdom.
And then Dot gestures over to Jurnis, your turn.
Well, grateful for your invitation. It was rather unexpected, but very pleasing.
Well,
Jurnis will also show the proper respect by giving a little bow.
Mm-hmm.
She's also kind of like subtly pulled grass, like close to her, if not slightly behind her, and is like half putting a wing around her.
Aww.
Mm-hmm.
No one messes with my goblin gal.
Mm. The Queen notices that. Interesting. Where exactly is your... now she's Christopher Walken. Where exactly is your paladin? We were hoping to speak with him.
That is an unfortunate event. I assume you knew that we were going to be setting out a little later. Well, it seems our paladin friend could not be persuaded to wait for the rest of the party to gather their resources. He has gone on ahead, which has brought our fair party to be, for lack of a better term, bushwhackers, to forge a path down for the larger party to follow us.
I see. So the paladin who was involved in assisting our people is in danger, and you are looking to help him.
Yes.
Oh. Then you should proceed with all haste. Very well, very well. What information do you need? What can we provide you?
Well, if you can provide us with perhaps a guide to help us safely get through the tunnels, at least to the age of your knowledge, that would be most helpful.
Most of our information is shared with the Veril. I see you have one there. I do not know what else we could provide, though we do have our own personal passages here. There is... I could send someone. She snaps her fingers and calls out, Vorp! Here.
Vorp is snoring. He's asleep. It's a very comfy rug, Dennis.
Is it?
Queenie might need to raise her voice.
Is it really? Okay. So you all see this tiny little kobold woman sort of like peer off to the side at this snoring kobold over here. And she points a finger and so this rug is now on fire as she blasts a firebolt at it.
What special rug?
So
I would say you would, if not the smell of burning fabric, the fact that a massive group of kobolds around you, some of them have shifted and shrieked, the rest of them are giggling madly.
Alright, so with all the commotion, Vorp instantly like springs up. It's like, it wasn't me this time! I didn't make anything explode! I didn't set on fire!
We believe you. Step forward.
Alright, Queenie, whatever you say.
And for clarification, you would know this is as far as you're allowed to get. You do not. Nobody steps here.
Vorp just kind of like juts a thumb back to the party as he like steps up. What's with the circus? I didn't know we were having a circus in the nest.
These are the great heroes who helped free most of our brethren recently from the vile goblin enemy in the mines. They need our assistance in recovering one of their valued allies, someone who is a friend to our kind, the Paladin Sir Icrius. So, I would appreciate it if you would assist them. At least, as far as you can, getting them through our borders and tracking him down. They are all searching something I know you have been keen to find, little friend.
You don't mean it. Like these yahoos are looking for Nella, y'all.
Indeed.
Oh, okay. I'll definitely be willing to lend them a hand and show them our best paths. Make sure they get there in one piece and don't spend like an hour or so trying to scramble up a cliff.
Imagine that.
Yes.
You all see the queen sort of like again point her finger at this little kobold in front of you guys, gesture in the air slightly, and her lips sort of murmur a little. Vorp, in your head, you hear the following: "Do take good care of them. I want to know exactly where they go, and if they do find Nelial, I want you to tell us how to get there."
For clarification, was this a sending spell or?
It was a message, basically.
A message, okay.
It was a message.
So I can reply if I understand how message works.
Yes. But yeah, I would say, you may respond to this message.
Vorp's just gonna like give a little nod and just say, aye aye, Queenie, wouldn't think of anything less. In his mind, to be clear.
Yes. So.
For the glory of the Jet Fangs.
The glory of the Jet Fangs. So, you all seem tired and exhausted. You are welcome to spend some time here, recover, refresh yourself. And when you are ready, you may leave with our blessing and what resources we can provide. Is there anything else we can do for you?
Jurnis is gonna glance around the rest of the party and see if they have anything they want to add or ask.
Yeah. Dot does.
Don't be shy, you guys, because you look like wet sacks of shit.
Please tell me that was out loud in character.
That was out loud. Complete with finger guns towards the party.
That's what I was picturing, hooked under the arms, but that'll do too. Hopping around back and forth like our Don Bluth character.
Sure.
You know what I mean.
Oh yes.
DM, I would
Hello.
like to back when we were at the Feral, is it the Feral Nest?
Yes, yes.
For the Feral.
Yeah.
When the alarms were going and everything, were there any like flashing amber-colored lights?
There were.
Now these little amber things at the corner of this cage.
Yes.
Do they look like them amber lights?
They look identical. And again, as I mentioned earlier, the pearlescent stone that you guys are walking on, you've never seen it outside of your experience in the Veral temple.
Yeah.
It does seem to be a common feature of a particular architectural style.
Yes, it does.
I would say this as well, just for the fun of it. You've seen something similar to this before, Dot. It was a jerry-rigged version, and it was incomplete. So I apologize. Let me just finish this, and I will answer your question here. It's all good. But yeah, Dot, this throne that you've seen, it reminds you of a smaller thing that you saw a long time ago in Taikanai, half built out of found materials in a tower. That's all. You were saying, Frux?
If this isn't too metagamey, could I do a medicine check from here on the queen?
A medicine check?
I mean, this kind of looks like this cage kind of feels like it's meant to keep people out from whatever it's in there, like a...
Yes.
Medicine check. So, what is it you're trying to... What is it you're trying to learn?
Well, I feel like that cage has to have been put there for a reason, and whatever's in there is bad news. So I want to see if there's anything up with the kobold in the middle.
I would say this. When I say cage, to clarify, this is like a framework. So, again, because it's a top-down view, basically imagine a metal box. So there are metal poles on the four corners that sink into the floor. And then you've got 4 metal support struts along the top. And what you're seeing are amber crystals at various points on the top frame. So when I say cage, it's almost like a thing that sits on top. The space is open. You can see there's no glass or anything, you know, and you see the gold is actually spilling out from out of the cage. So it's more sort of like a frame. Yeah, kind of.
In that case, I won't do the medicine check then.
Okay. So, before you guys have what I will say maybe the last long rest you get in some time, anything you wish to do?
If you'll forgive my curiosity, do you mind if I ask a question?
Please go ahead.
Did your friends manage to get back in one piece?
Most of them did, yes. There was a little bit of a... Suddenly she says now. There was an unfortunate accident. One of the routes they took was through the farm, and some of the cattle decided to eat them. It is unfortunate, but it is, nature of living here. It is a dangerous
life in a deep
place.
dark.
Oh dear, why is everyone looking at me?
I'm glad that the vast majority of them got home, but now I'm curious.
They spoke
I'm going to
highly of you.
assume your cattle are not of the bullvine variety.
No, we raise giant
thank
spiders.
Thank goodness. Oh dear.
You don't milk them, do you?
That too. The thread is very useful in construction. And as you look around, you see a lot of the, what you thought initially was rope, a lot of it is actually webbing, or a sort of like a silken thread.
You know, that might explain why that rug went up so quickly.
Something we learned from the drow filth a long time ago.
Well,
Oh snap.
Never
So I don't-
underestimate what you can do with a good spider.
Mm.
It's good to meet you, Vol. It's good to meet everyone. I do want to say I do have something, but it may disrupt the scene, so I want to wait till everybody else is totally done.
Okay.
does anyone else have any questions? Jurnis is gonna turn and look at Graz and Tahu and Ang and Seedie. And Ilgil.
I have an idea. Spider mount.
You know... Do you say that out loud so the Queen can hear you?
I'm basically saying quiet amongst the group here. All excited, like.
I want to roll a perception for that.
Sure.
So if you're
my
trying to
God.
hide it, roll a stealth.
I'm afraid you're not going to
Seedie
hear
might
that.
roll garbage.
You know, she's talking quietly, but she's not concerned whether anybody overhears it.
So you're just going to say I could hear it?
Yeah, everyone.
Well, these probably would, but I doubt any of them speak
We-
common.
We thought of that first, despite what goblins say.
You mean you'd actually
So you do have spider mounts then?
I would say, yeah. The Queen chuckles to herself and says, "We used to, but again, very difficult to control, and they get so hungry. That's why we keep them in the farm, far away from our nest."
And I guess we're too big for them too, I'm assuming.
I mean, it's possible. What is the expression in common? You can always try. I wouldn't recommend it, though.
You can
Could be entertaining.
I might be lucky. You know, I'm gonna try and see if I can succeed in an animal handling.
Okay.
Dear God.
I would say this, Vorp, given the map that you were sent recently, I'm actually just going to bring it up so I can just double check I am not talking poop. You could actually get to the farm through Whitestone Crossing fairly easily. And let me just bring up all the other little bits and pieces, because I got so many spinning plates here. The farm, yes. So 10, 22. Yes. Yes. So basically, the only way to get to the farm is through Whitestone Crossing. It is actually one of the main exports that the nest has. They basically sell the meat to the devil and the Devillo. And the silk is useful.
Oh, yep. Well, by the looks of you, I'd say you went through a deep lake. So you must have passed through Whitestone Crossing. If we head back that way, I can take you to the farm and you could try your luck, kitty lady. Though I gotta say, of those hips of yours, it might be a bit of a squeeze getting on our mounts.
I'm not going to get on a spider. Dot's like 8 feet tall, remember?
And a Minotaur.
And a Minotaur, yeah.
Probably for the best, you tall glass of milk, you. You'd crush the poor thing.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Pat, pat on the back of the head. Pat, pat on the head and the hat. Readjusting.
Vorp's actually gonna like give you a wink at that and just like cock a roguish grin.
So, unless there is anything. Oh no, D, you had something you were going to say?
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure. Is everyone else turning in and walking away? I'm waiting for that moment.
Pretty much, yeah.
Nobody else? Okay. So as everybody's walking away, Dot is still standing there, but she's not looking at Vorp. She keeps. She was looking at Vorp when Vorp was talking to her, but instead of walking away, she's looking at the throne. And she keeps getting this faraway look and then shaking her head and then getting a faraway look. I'm sending you something important.
I would like to clarify for you, D, that Vorp is still hanging back too.
Yeah.
So, okay. Just wanted to make sure that didn't, like, scupper your plans.
Well, I'm sending the GM what's happening.
Okay.
And she keeps getting a faraway look and she's just standing there. And then, a few more times, she actually steps forward and seems to be in a trancy, hazy thing. She's not looking too, like, together.
Is your friend... Is your friend all right? I would say as you start to step forward, they don't move, but these kobolds here, they're basically wearing, white robes with like a black trim. And they do have what appear to be large pikes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I get the vibe. But unfortunately, Dot takes another step.
Lady, I like you, but no one approaches the Amber Throne.
I would say wisdom saving throw with advantage, if you'd be so kind, Dot.
Well, she has double exhaustion, so she's got disadvantage on everything.
I would say a straight roll then.
Yeah, let me, wisdom save. Come on, Dot.
Okay.
I'm rolling straight 16s all day. That was the other roll she had.
Okay.
She looks distressed. Dot looks distressed at this point.
Dot, you alright?
It's...
Step back.
And she looks over at Vorp and says, I must please request an audience with her. I must speak to her in confidence. Only her. This is, oh dear. And all of her showy, flowy accent is not there. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
Until you've rested.
No, it cannot wait.
She'll still be there when we wake.
So, Dot, as you're, I would say, as Dot's having this conversation and everything, the entire room goes silent as suddenly Queen Shazra disappears from the throne and is suddenly here.
Oh dear.
And she is looking at you very intently.
My queen. My good queen, she says, not my good my good queen. Oh dear. I don't know whether it's proper to address you or I must speak with you in confidence. I have something most urgent.
She disregards you for a moment, glances up at the throne and then back to you. We are going for a walk. And she holds out a hand.
Yes, that's agreeable. And like the whole show is gone.
Mm-hmm.
That's agreeable. Yes, let's walk.
You gonna be alright with this one, Queenie?
I will
Vorp's
be
just kind of
fine.
looking to and fro. He's legitimately concerned.
In Draconic, she basically turns to you and says, "Oh, I'll be fine. You just take care of the others."
Vorp just kind of does a side glance at the party. Yeah, they need looking after.
Dot, I like having kobold friends. Don't fuck this up.
It's nothing like that. Please trust me.
Queen, I hope you're going to take good care of Dot.
Oh, you have my word. I'll take very good care of her. Just a little private conversation.
Is there
Excuse us.
anything to insight in the way she said that?
Yeah, there are many things to insight. Please roll me an insight if you wish.
Jurnis is gonna
Okay. With a nat 20, with a 25, this is the sequence of events as Seedie sees it. Dot was staring up at the throne, looking a little bit lost, almost like PTSD. And she was just walking towards it, just staring at it. And Queen Shazra nailed that. She saw it, and there's this look of understanding and deep interest. And she, you believe, would like to have a private conversation with Dot to find out what is going on. So, not to belabor things too long and all that. This group are going to start making their way around the throne, having an idle girls' chat. So, what would you like to say, Dot?
I'm sending it to you. Just a second.
It's
I'm
okay.
almost done. I'm going as fast as I
Okay.
can because I don't want to distract the party.
Okay. While
So,
that's going on, no, it's okay, D. I was saying while this conversation is going on, if the rest of you have anything you wish to discuss with each other, now is the time to do it.
So, CD managed to pick up all that with a 25 insight, yeah?
Yes.
I think there's something about that throne that Dot recognizes. And I can tell that the Queen noticed this as well. I gather they're having a bit of a conversation about it right now.
Quite possibly.
The throne is an artifact of great archaeological importance. I'm sure if your friend's been around the block a few times, she's seen something like it.
It looked like she most certainly did. I wouldn't... I've never seen anything like it. Though, those amber crystals, I've seen them in one place before. Quite recently, actually.
Vorp just kind of crosses his arms and leans in, gaze up. Oh, really? Where'd you see, like, a priceless artifact like that?
Oh, the Verl have a few. It even makes it even speaks in Celestial.
He's referring to the crystals, not an actual throne made of crystal. But yes, we have seen something similar like that in the ruins under the Verls.
Basically, the craftsmanship is very similar.
You a fascinating lot to pal around with.
My dear, you have no idea.
I will say
Speaking of
this,
the
by the way,
Jaguar.
Vorp.
Yeah.
This is news to you. Because the Verl like to keep their nest private.
Yeah.
So the fact that non-Verl have been able to see inside it is very interesting. And the fact that there is more ancient material for you to uncover. That's some very nice information.
Yes, it is.
However, yes?
Just remind me, lore-wise, like, we trade with the Verl, don't we? Like, we have dealings. Yeah.
You have dealings. It's basically the equivalent of well, I don't want to say it's like Wales and England, but it's more like you keep to your own sections, but you are both you both have a presence in the city itself. And because the Jetfang, they mainly work as like the sewage engineers, the sanitation and all that. They have quite literally the shitty jobs. And they are fairly looked down on by pretty much everybody else in the city. The Verl, however, while they are given some respect because of historical defense, they don't... they're more active in the city. They're more active. However, they don't... the two groups have a working relationship as underdark residents that the regular surface folk do not have. The Verl are kind of the bridging gap, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Vorp's just gonna privately think to himself as he just nods like along to see whatever Seedie's saying. It's like, I've been talking to these guys for less than a couple of minutes, and they've already told me secrets that Queenie would like to know.
I would say...
we had a friend who spoke to some of this craftsmanship in the Verl Nest in Celestial. Does anyone here speak Celestial?
Well,
And if so, have they tried saying anything
I don't
to this stuff?
speak it, but for the next 45 minutes I can read it and understand it.
Well, I hate to burst your bubble, but I don't speak it, certainly, and I don't imagine many other people around here would. You know, we kobolds are mostly occupied with just surviving due to this shitty situation that we unfortunately have to deal with, and he just kind of, like, gives a filthy side glance towards the gobbos.
Above game, Cream. Is Cream actually in the game right now?
I think Cream is in the game. Yes. Cream is in the game. It's just we haven't given them anything to do yet.
Aww.
Yeah.
We're getting there.
Hello?
Tahu
sorry, I'm
present?
Hi, Cream.
Cream, was Tahu present when Sir Icrius gave commands to the device in the
Allow me to clarify this for you. That was in the middle of a fight, and no one else is really around Icarus to hear that, as far as I remember. You all fighting for your lives.
Yeah, if memory serves.
Actually there that day.
Yeah,
like,
no.
Myself,
yeah.
as a player, I was not there that day. So, Devillo will have to answer that because I don't know if my player was or not.
Yeah, no, that was when the Dryad showed up. Tahu was with Dog. He was at the entrance, and most of the stuff involving Celestial was at the other end. So, he would not know. However, I would say... or is there anything else you all wanted to say?
No, I'm good.
Okay, so after while you guys are having this conversation, I would say Queen Shazra and Dot come back round with her guard in tow, and Shazra has a bit of a chuckle as she nods, and I would say that Jurnis, with your and Vorp, because you already speak Draconic, you would hear, well, I do appreciate the cookies. That would be fantastic, and a delightful little detail on top. I do want to thank you for all of that. That is valuable information.
She nods. Yes, every cookie recipe is valuable, especially if it comes from the heart.
I hope you take care of yourself, ma'am. You are definitely one of my kind of people. I hope we get to know each other better in the future.
Dennis.
Hello.
Sorry.
I'd like to roll inside. Because I'm pretty sure they talked about more than cookies.
Bless her for bringing up the cookies at the end.
Oh, Jurnis is convinced that she was talking about more than the cookies.
Oh,
the queen of the Jetfang tribe is a wily and mysterious individual. You would consider yourself a rarity, being a spellcaster of your own nature. However, the queen kind of... It's not so much she looks down on you, it's more a case of she's frustrated by you. Everything you have, you just have. It's your nature. But everything she has worked for, claw and tooth, and study, which is insanely hard for a kobold. And so, in kobold terms, she is one powerful fucking wizard.
Hell yeah.
In regular terms, you know, she only has, like, say, maybe, 1 4th level spell. But she does have one. So. But the answer to your question, she is absolutely talking about something else. But how would you tell? What it is, you do not know. She is a deep, mysterious, and complex character. Well, thank you so much for your time. Oh, better switch back to common. Thank you so much for your time. If there is anything else we can do for you before you leave, don't hesitate to let us know. But in the meantime, rest here. Relax, enjoy some music, some wine. If you want any of my concubines, you're more than welcome to enjoy. And you see several fairly muscular and feminine-looking kobolds, like raise their eyebrows and strike a pose, should anyone require them. But in the meantime, she snaps her fingers and is suddenly back here on the phone.
Thank you, most appreciated. Now you'll use that cookie recipe in good confidence, I hope. And then she, like, turns and says, and please tell me you have a very large bed of pillows. And then she walks over to Vorp as she's saying that.
DM?
We got a whole lot of rugs. And a few pillows. I could rustle them up for you.
Yes, please. She's exhausted. It's like finally her energy is worn out, and she's like, yes, please direct me to your supply of pillows.
Oh, lady, you can even have my rug. It's the comfiest.
I don't think it exists anymore.
Yeah, but we'll need something else.
What, you mean I didn't put it out?
I would say this, you see one particular alchemist near where you were just snickering mean-spiritedly.
My rug!
Someone get him another one.
It's not the same!
I already grew into it.
Oh, I love this. So,
I fought 4 kobolds on that rug! It was a bloody battle!
Was it a game of rock, paper, scissors? Or boulder, parchment, shears?
Yeah! And they exploded!
I thought
So-
you were rugged, but now I see differently.
Oh, jeez.
Oh my
CD,
God.
CD. Dot, roll me a D100 for that joke.
I'm trying. Okay, here we go. Let's just do it. Let's see what horrible things befall me.
Yeah.
Kid. Is that
You're
one?
fortunately this time fine. Moving on, before we change the scene, Frux, was there something you wanted to say?
Yeah, you said earlier that Queen Shazra is a powerful wizard for a kobold and possesses a 1 level 4 spell.
Yes.
And she
Which-
just appeared on her throne.
Yes.
She just knows how to teleport, doesn't she?
It could have been Misty
With a
Step or Dimension.
With a
Door.
14, you do not know. And again, let us remind ourselves, you don't know that much about magic because it is a highly regulated and basically what a lot of the stuff that she's doing is flat out illegal on the surface.
Yeah.
This is her kingdom
Yep.
and she gives no shits.
And I won't tell.
No one who has tried to tell ever lived anyway. So, you all have yourselves a long rest. So, recover your hit points. You may relax, unwind here in the Jet Fang Nest.
How does exhaustion work?
So whenever you hit a long rest, you automatically should remove 1 level of exhaustion each time you do it.
Oh god. So she's back to just 1 now.
Just 1 level of exhaustion, yes.
Which is still horrible.
It is, but hey, that's life.
Mhm.
So,
And
So-
she's gonna follow Vorp to go, to be like, please lead me to the pillow. She's basically a zombie at this point. She's really tired.
Dot.
This is her first time out adventuring.
Dot.
No,
Is there anything
Odd.
we should know about?
Well, I don't know what you mean. I shared a cookie recipe. And
Dot.
she's...
Darling. And Jurnis is just gonna arch her eyebrow at her and tilt her head forward slightly. It's like inside.
Oh,
I believe she still has a point of exhaustion.
Yeah, so
so
she's a 5. She got a 5 in
Mhm.
deception.
Uh,
Of course, my
tall,
dear.
red, and sultry.
My life is complex, and I would very much like to go and lie down on this kobold's pillows, please.
Yeah, I let the lady rest before you interrogate her, huh?
Please?
You look like you could use it too.
We can
Oh,
talk
most
about it
definitely.
later.
Dot.
hey, Jenna.
I'm going to hold you to that. Yes, Seedie?
Ah, yes, I'll be sure to tell you the cookie recipe in detail later, and then
Oh,
she
no.
moves away with Vorp.
Would you like me to do a little bit of investigating? Ask around, see if anybody's seen Icrius pass through?
That is a good idea. I have my own little scheme for that.
I would say this to save you all a bit of time. Given the way the Queen reacted when you mentioned that the Paladin was not with you and had gone on ahead, gives you the impression that this was news to her.
And what was news to her is probably
think-
news to everyone else.
Mhm. Yeah.
I imagine the kobolds would report anything to the queen.
Well, that depends on the circumstances, I suppose. I have my ways.
Ooh, ooh.
Not like that, Graz. You remember that little
Speaking
trick
of which,
I pulled on the Fulbrighter sister?
Well, Graz looks around a little nervously. Again, you'll have noticed that she's kind of making sure she's staying in the middle of the group as she's looking
Jurnis
around
has
the
not let
kobolds.
Graz leave her side.
Yeah.
She's got Scully on the other side as well.
Yeah, you know, they're being really nice right now and friendly because you actually saved a bunch of them. Although, she looks over. Is Vorp right next to them? I assume.
Yeah,
Okay.
Dot's standing next to Vorp, like dragging her shoulders.
Yeah.
Her poor little hooves are all dangling droopily in front of her.
Well, the long and the short of it is, remember how we, went and rescued a bunch of them and helped shut down the mine and everything? That's pretty much the only reason that we're here. I don't think it'd be a good idea to get creative and, maybe put that in jeopardy.
That is true, yes. Let's keep your ears open just in case. We probably should just
Always
rest
are.
and move on. God knows what Icrius is up to down there. I swear to God, he better have fallen and broken a leg or something by the time we get there, or else I'm going to kill him.
Meanwhile, Icrius is like in a jacuzzi somewhere with some demons around him. Well, I must leave, ladies.
And then she face-planted the first time she tried to use her wings.
Somewhere deep in the ruins. None of you heard that, of course. Moving on.
So, yeah, Dot looks over at Vorp
Icrius' hatred of us just grew.
Dot looks over at Vorp and he's like, yes, now, I'll talk to you later, Jurnis. I'll tell you whatever you need to know about cookies, I promise. Vorp, the pillars, please.
Vorp's actually going to reach up, because he is a small boy, and take her gently by the hand.
He's going to let him.
Give it a little squeeze. Well, me... Hey, I'll get us like the nicest pile of pillows and rugs the nest has to offer, because I need a new rug, and you clearly need any rug.
Yes, very much so. Surprised, by the way, I want to thank you for the compliments earlier. It was very nice of you. I'm afraid I usually just... People don't even find me the slightest bit interesting most of the time, so the compliments were nice. Thank you.
Lately, you're amazing. You look at you. You tower over everyone. You've clearly seen a few scuffles, no matter how hard you try and hide it.
You adjust her hat. Really? Oh my.
Besides, I'm a kobold. I know a good thing when I see it.
Oh dear.
Okay. So, as I would say that you guys basically you get some rest. You get some sleep. You unwind. You enjoy some rather nice food, actually. At least in the. As you guys were heading through the nest, you noticed that the kobolds were eating various bits and pieces. Some of it less appetizing than you would usually have. And now you think about it, you definitely did recognize what was likely a spider leg or two. However, the food that you have here is nice. It's pretty well prepared. The atmosphere is very warm and welcoming, with this slightly eerie torchlight glow reflecting off the bizarre throne. But yeah, you all have yourself a good long rest. Now, the question...
actual meat today!
To be fair, people in the Queen's Court always eat well. So... One moment, I'm getting messages and I need to read them. While I'm reading these messages, where is the party heading to next? Because to remind you all, yes, you can whisper. There are various locations that you are aware of. You know that the last place you saw Chemise, which was in the Dortcher Mines, that was potentially a way to get to where you need to go. At least that's where you last saw her. So it could be a starting point. There was also, I believe you all were discussing the farm, with the spiders. That is a possible location you can head to. And Kubur, you have a particular map.
I do.
With a few other locations on there, including two that most kobolds don't really have access to.
Alright.
So between you and Gil, you've spent a lot of time and effort doing your own personal research. So, where is it you wish to go?
Do you want me to roll for that whisper there, Dennis?
Why not? Graz does not move, does not respond.
Then Jurnis will just cuddle her closer and go back to sleep.
Her hand tightens over the ring and she cuddles you back.
Aww.
She woke up as you were putting the ring on.
Meanwhile, Dot.
So, Dee's message. 1 second. Okay. Yeah, that's absolutely fine. If you could actually write that down for... we'll remember that later, Dee, but that's good. So...
Yes, okay.
So, I would say you've all had a long rest. You're all having a brief discussion. Which direction are you thinking of travelling in?
Well,
come on, y'all. I'm guiding you, so I need to know where you want to go.
Yes, Vorp, you're a very handy guide.
How fixated are you on attempting to ride a spider, Miss Seedie?
You know what? Let's give it a try.
Oh dear.
Okay.
I do not like spiders.
Okay.
Vorp's actually gonna reach up and pat Dot's thigh. Don't worry, Dot. You don't have to ride a spider if you don't want to, and I'll protect you every step of the way. I know how to handle them.
Oh, don't worry, I can take care of myself.
I don't doubt it.
But it's very much appreciated. And she does, she says, I meant to give you this last night as a thank you for your assistance. And it is one of her, treat mechanics. It's just it's a ginger and ginseng boost treat.
Woo!
Like a little round candy. Little soft, gummy, round candy that you suck on or chew or whatever.
Is this one of those candies people like to enjoy topside?
Yes, but you must chew it. Don't swallow it whole.
I gotcha. Chewing time. Vorp just gingerly puts it on his tongue and closes his mouth.
Kubur, really gingerly? Really?
Yes, really. And just laboriously chews on the candy, enjoying every moment of it.
It does burn a bit because it's pure, it's mostly ginger. It's meant to get you peppy.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the moment the peppiness hits, he kind of jumps a little, but you could just see the creases at the edges of his muscle. He is grinning from ear fin to ear fin right now as he chews. And he just gives you a big thumbs up, and Muffin just goes, "It's really good, thank you."
Glad we have him aboard, Miss Jurnis. Aren't you?
He is rather adorable, I suppose.
Yes. Looks back, kind of wistfully. Yes, he is.
Well, okay. Before going further, I have two things I want to do. First off, Dennis, when you have a chance at some point during the week, would you ever so kindly make Cream's version of the map into a handout in the game?
Yes.
Put it again in the player chat.
Yes, I will.
And second of all, Do we actually know where we need to go?
You have theories. Again, it's like the last place you saw Chemise, who went down to Nelayal, and you know she's in Nelayal. The last time you saw her, she was in the goblin mines of Dorchacilo. You do know that in order to there is one way of getting there, and it is through a region that's known as the War Zone. That is a place. That is actually the place where you first met the kobolds, and Chemise did the whole thing with the the illusion and all that.
Yes. I sent you a message, by the way, Devillo. Would that be something, one, Dot could think of, and two, worth trying?
So then,
I'm confused by the question because okay. I would say that's going to be a no for just for the sake of brevity.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, as you guys are going to be heading through these passages, what is your loose marching order for future reference?
Jurnis will probably be around about the middle.
Okay. Who
I'm the guide, so I'm in front.
Okay.
Yeah, you and Aja, the rat and the kobold are probably up front, right? Arguing.
Are you okay with that, Gil?
Yeah.
Okay. Who is going to be behind them?
Dot is going to be right behind them.
Okay.
I'll be behind Dot.
Okay. I would say that we can roughly do it two abreast. So I would say behind you guys is going to be Skullface and Graz, the two goblins. I'm assuming Jurnis is going to be with Graz, which means that we have Tahu, Ang, and Dog. Did you guys... Were you... No, Skullface is with Graz in the middle.
Oh, okay.
So... Ang, Cream, sorry, Ang and Tahu, which one of you wanted to take up the rear?
Third way, I don't care.
Oh, okay, no problem. We'll say that Ang takes up the rear, Tahu is just in front of him, and would say Dog is kind of in the middle with the group. Okay, so that is kind of the marching order going forward. Is that okay?
It works for me.
Yeah.
Yes, my love, what were you going to say?
Well, I was going to say, because I was looking at my map, could I convey to them kind of generally that we have to go back to the crossing, and then, because the map I'm looking at shows that we go back through the crossing, and then we go back to the lake where we were, and then we have to go southeast to the Dorchas silo.
Yeah, that is one of the routes to get there. So you share that with the rest of the group, yeah?
Yeah, that's the only way I would be familiar with, or what I know another way.
Okay. You compare that with what Vorp knows, and you would say that the War Zone, there's actually a... Vorp, do you actually share the information you have?
Yeah, please allow me to Vorpify it. Yeah, sure, you could go that way around, if you're dumb. You could take the Queen's Path if you're heading to the War Zone. It's much, much quicker.
Quite rude.
That sounds quite expedient, actually. I don't see any reason why we shouldn't do that. That was the last place we know her to have been, so I think that might be the best area to start our search. Unless anyone has any other objections or any better ideas, because that's all I've got.
I'm all for that. At the very least, we could find we could see if she's left any evidence behind, a trail to follow.
When digging for secrets, it's best to start where you left off. It doesn't do to start another hole when you've already started digging one. Unless there's horrible monsters in the hole you've already dug. Of course, that's just simple wisdom.
Can I try something slightly outlandish?
This is D&D.
Considering
There's
what
also Voarcel.
Jurnis knows of Sir Icrius, would she be able to make like an insight to see if he would probably think along the same lines of that's where we should start?
Sure.
Getting into the mindset of a bird brain. Way to go, Jurnis.
I'd say insight with disadvantage, a 14. Now, refresh my memory. What exactly is it you're trying to deduce?
I'm trying to deduce, with what I know of Sir Icrius, would his plan of action to have been to start where we last seen her, or just charge blindly into the dark like a bird brain?
Icarus can be a bit hot-headed, and he can be a little bit impulsive. But you also know he's a diplomat, he's a soldier, and he is actually a fairly decent strategist. It would make sense.
I have a feeling that this may be Icarus's line of thought too, unless he's gone completely off the rails. So if we're lucky, we may find some evidence of his passage from there as well.
That's what I was thinking.
So then,
So,
to the war zone. Lead on, my little friends.
Yes, lead on, Vorp. And Gil.
And
Vorp just
You
gives
both-
it.
Standing place.
You're both equally important to us at this point in our journey. We rely on you both. Oh, and here's a ginger candy for you as well, Gil.
Yay.
Dot,
It's just that our maps are better.
don't
Dot, are
think
you
I haven't
actually...
forgotten about our conversation we need to have about cookies.
Oh, of course. What did you want to know? I'll tell you anything, Jurnis. Anything at all you'd like to know. She looks around at the large group around them. Just let me know, and we can put the issue to rest.
Well, let's not bore everyone about the cookies for now. We'll talk about them later.
Vorp politely raises his hand as you two are talking.
Oh, yes, Vorp?
Yes,
what's,
Vorp?
what's that?
I have a question about cookies. Can I have one?
We do not have any more left.
Unfortunately, your friends, the guards, took them all.
Can I have some later?
Oh, I'll bake you a special batch just for you.
Ah, gee, thanks. He can't help but hop on the spot a little. Like, he is just tickled pink at the prospect of delicious dot-baked cookies.
Dot, meanwhile, kind of flutters her eyes and adjusts her hat.
Vorp kind of blushes a bit.
okay then, so you guys are...
Moving on.
Yes. So you guys are heading back out into the White Stone Crossing, and from there you're going to be headed where?
Above game, I think just need some clarification because there's been a couple of ideas.
Yes.
Because Seedie wanted to go to the farm, but then there's discussions about going to the war zone. Make up your minds, people.
Seedie's gonna drop that whole thing about the
Are
farm.
you sure?
Yeah.
Well, let's
Alright.
actually ask something. Is the passage to the war zone near the farm, adjacent to the farm, or...
Nope, afraid not.
Yeah, the farm is its own self-contained area. As far as you're aware, Vorp, it does not connect to anywhere else.
I'm afraid the path we're going doesn't connect to the farm, but hey, you never know, I might discover a new route.
No, I'll leave the choice in your hands, Seedie.
Let's just go to the war zone.
Yes, let's try to focus on the mission. There'll be time to ride spiders later.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine you really want to find your friend.
Yes, exactly, Volt. That's very prescient of you.
You seemed like you had a lot of trouble pronouncing the word friend there.
No, if I may be blunt, you lot don't seem like you make friends easily.
I believe it's important to try to
Except
find
Dot!
friends.
Dot seems like she makes friends all the time.
She curtsies. Thank you.
Well, my logic was really if I had a mount, we'd be able to find him sooner.
It is a good
You
idea.
guys normally this indecisive?
I think the problem with that is the mount would only help you.
Yes, I did realize.
Excellent.
And Vorp, you have no idea.
Excellent. Just let's move on then. It seems like, Seedie, your idea is most well met.
I tell you one thing: if you don't all like pull together as a tribe, you're all gonna die down here.
You're
Me
all
and
going to die
Queenie,
down here.
me and Queenie, Queenie, she gets frustrated with me. She's kind of jealous of what I got. But we work together. We look out for one another. We keep the tribe strong. So you guys are gonna pull together like that too.
Good advice.
Despite our
You should have seen the.
appearances, we do look out for each other in combat.
Absolutely.
You should have seen that fight earlier against that big psychic worm.
Let's not talk about that.
About that, Dennis.
Hello.
I presume I know of this entity.
Psychic worm doesn't really ring a bell.
Nobody wants to hear about that fight. That was an entirely unassuming fight.
Don't remember this part. In fact, never show this part again.
Yep.
So, you guys are going to be headed to the war zone now, unless I am mistaken. That is number 12. Let me just check what I sent to Kubur. So, the best way to do that would be through the Queen's Path. So you head back out into Whitestone Crossing, the various Darrow and Verrill and Kobold traders are, plying their wares, this, that, and the other. And Vorp is going to lead you to a particular part of the cavern. This one. Which one is the Queen's Path again?
By the way, I gotta let you guys know, Vorp walks with a swagger. This is one confident bold, which I imagine contrasts quite strongly with the more. I imagine like these are rather skittish, twitchy kobolds, because this is the Underdark. Everything's out to get you. If you're not like alert at all times, the darkness itself could eat you.
I will say this as well, because this is going to get super confusing. The pathway to the Queen's Path is actually through the nest, not the. That's why I brought it up, because I thought you all were going to the farm. So you didn't go to Whitestone Crossing. Reverse it. Instead, you go through sections of the nest. It takes you a little bit, but eventually you get to an area that's fairly heavily guarded. But as you're heading through, you basically pass a checkpoint, and you see, like with many sections of the Kobold, the Jetfang nest, it has this. It's clearly this used to be built out of structures of some kinds. There's various points of pearlescent stone. It is fairly worn, and where is the damn music? It doesn't matter. Okay, we're just using the same ambient sound for it. Doesn't matter.
There are guards down here.
There are some, but they don't patrol. Basically, this is a border point, pretty much.
Just gonna. Oh, sorry, you first.
It's so good. It's so good. But yeah, over millennia, this place has what originally was like smooth and untouched pearlescent stone has been carved into it by the various generations of kobolds that have lived here, and there are various statues that have been carved into the walls of the various bits and pieces of kobold, the tribe leaders. That have taken over the Jetfang over the past, 400 years. The various little candles. It's a very interesting. It's almost like down the side of almost like a Catholic crypt, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
So as Vorp passes the guards, he's just gonna nod to them and just go, "Brink, Arbo, good day to you folks." And as we walk down like this like wonderfully carved path, Vorp's just gonna like start walking backwards. He's just gonna turn around and start walking backwards with his arms outstretched. Where we can't find a path, we make them. You see, like years upon years, centuries of our architecture and progress. It's magnificent, ain't it?
Nice.
Our illustrious queen's path.
Dot is not deceiving, but she's trying to just be like sound impressed more than she's seen. You know, she's never seen dungeons before. Never, certainly not. Ooh, do I need to roll deception or anything?
I would say this in all fairness, it is quite beautiful.
Yeah, I know.
Eerie, but beautiful. But
Yes.
it's your call.
No, she's not deceiving. She's just trying to. She is impressed. Just that she's acting like she's never seen anything like it before. That's why I asked. Ooh, remarkable.
And
See, you're blown away. You've never seen anything like this before, huh?
Yes, of course not.
Well, as you guys are heading down this long corridor, there is a large crack in one side of the wall. And, you know, the statues and the carvings have sort of been carved into and around it. But this is one of the areas where the guards are keeping a special watch on. This side passage, eventually, you would know, Vorp, is going to lead to the war zone.
If you're ready for this, it is called the war zone for a reason. Pretty ugly.
Yeah. Well, we shall marshal our strength then.
Why,
To be
did a
fair-
war happen?
To be fair, Vorp,
Mm-hmm.
the reason this area is called the war zone is because this was the front line where the Jetfang kobolds were continually harrying and attacking the goblin miners.
Yep.
The situation has changed. With the intervention of Icrius and the rest of this group, it's basically not much has happened for a while now. You've not really heard much from the goblin miners, and some of your spies have suggested that they may have tried to collapse tunnels around here.
Oh dear.
But no one knows for certain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we may not be in active war with goblins anymore, but there's talk that they may be trying to collapse tunnels, so tread carefully, eh?
Oh yes, and Dot like hunches her head down a little bit.
One final detail for everybody before we begin. You all have 10 supplies.
Oh, we got some.
They
extra.
have stocked you up fully. You are now at your maximum, which is 10. So you have 10 d6, and you will not need to roll for a little while at least. So you make your way through the cavern. It is a bit of a tight squeeze, especially for Dot. I would say anyone who is considered a large creature is going to, or has wings, is going to need an athletics check.
How big do you think her wings are? But yeah, okay.
Well, that worked before.
True. Athletics, did you say?
Athletics, both from Dot and Jurnis, please.
Oh yes, here it comes.
See, Icrius would have had this problem too. And I would say this, you would know that Icarus's plate armor would not have fit through here. He would have had to remove it.
Oh dear God!
Oh,
It's coming.
So now, unless I'm mistaken, Dot, you were fairly early into the marching order, weren't you?
Yes, she was right behind Vorp.
Oh,
Right
yeah.
behind Vorp's walk and swagger.
Yeah. Both Gil, Gil, your Veral guide, she's able to squeeze through this no problem. The way most rat folk are able to go through very tight passageways. Vorp, nice and nimble. Dot, yeah, no, I'm unfortunately gonna say that it takes you the better part of an hour. And yes, Jurnis is trapped directly behind you as you try to make your way through this section. And I will unfortunately have everyone roll your supply.
Dot, would you like me to use the butter?
What?
Would you like me to use the butter?
Oh, the butter. Not necessary.
By the way, it is 10d6. You all need to be rolling 10d6.
10d. I don't know how to do that. What do I type?
Yeah, what you do is at the bottom where you've got the mouse, you hover over the dice, you click, and you just keep tapping until you get to 10, and you can roll them all at once.
Hi, Dennis.
Yes, sir.
I presume I do this too now.
Yes.
Why are you rolling?
There we go.
Okay, and once you've rolled it, what you do is you hover over the where it says 10d6, and you open it up, and that's going to show you how many ones you've rolled, because it's going to be bright red. So, for example, Vorp has unfortunately lost one supply, because one of them was a 1.
2 for Dot. So Dot used 2 supplies. Oh dear, I'm so peckish from all this walking.
So did everyone get that? Everyone understands the basic mechanic?
Yep.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I swear the mechanic has changed because we were rolling like 1d6 before.
I was telling you to roll all of them, so there may have been a miscommunication. Oh shoot, Ang unfortunately loses 4 of his 10.
Oh.
So you're back to the regular 6 you started with. Oof. Yeah, again, this is like, like fuel, like your lantern oil leaking, and, that's basically what it means.
I just picture Ang like doing like super fast cartoon eating because he's cheap.
Anyway, so after that, you guys find yourself, the cavern eventually, thankfully, opens up into this area here. I want to make sure we can all see everything.
Yep.
Okay. So, I would like Gil and Vorp. I want both of you guys to roll me a d4.
Rolling.
Okay. And Gil, roll me a d4, please.
Hold on. I'm fucking up.
How dare you?
It won't let me, How do I deselect the dice?
Basically, I would say
click.
this. Yeah, you can
Good,
actually
okay.
highlight the whole thing and just hit delete.
I got it.
Yeah. Right-clicking's quicker, actually. Okay. So, we have a tie. I would like... who wants to be the tiebreaker?
I'll do it.
I did. Okay.
Okay, first person speaks wins, so roll me a d4. Odds or evens.
Oh. Wait, I think I did it wrong.
No, you were right, it's fine. Oh, you did a 1d4 plus 1, actually. Yeah, what was... Oh, okay. So it was an odd. That's good to know. So... as you guys are making your way through this passage, it finally opens up into a much wider area. There are various rock formations around you. The floor is a little bit uneven. It's a bit hard to see, as with most places, but for the most part, it seems fairly normal. There's an odd various mushroom growths around, giving off a slightly eerie light. There's large piles of what seem to be like trash or refuse in the corners. And is it stalactites or stalagmites that hang down from above?
Tights.
I let tights hang, I think.
Yep.
Okay, well, you've got 2 large stalactites towards the middle that are sort of like hanging down from this very low ceiling. I would say as you get in, the ceiling is around 5 to 10 feet high in parts. So, I would like everybody to just preemptively, because why not? Let's roll some initiative, please. And that's going to be in the combat tracker, which is the fist icon.
Hold on.
Pretty sure that low initiative is everything. For me.
I mean, if you're a cleric, low initiative is good because that means that you can react and heal people who need heal. So, Cream, I sit. We just need an initiative, and we've got Skullface's initiative there. Okay. So, just wait on Cream as I set this up. As you guys head into this area, you notice that the one of the patches of trash in this corner twitches slightly.
So, Dennis.
Hello.
Vorp's probably passed through here like once or twice. He is a travelled mold.
Yes.
Is that like particularly normal? Like, are there usually critters that scuttle about in our trash?
I mean, there are many things that feed on the trash.
True.
This is fairly normal. Give me a nature check, if you'd be so kind. And also, we just need an initiative roll off Cream.
17.
17. That did not seem natural. But it does seem to be relegated to this side of the cavern. You know that you could... It would be a bit of a delay, but you could make your way around and go this way down here instead.
Dennis? Is Dot still exhausted?
Yes.
She has 1 point of exhaustion.
Okay.
That's what
Very
happens
much
when you're
just-
mean to your Kenku.
She wasn't mean. It was a crisis.
Hey, Dennis.
Hello?
Vorp's gonna like cock his finger like a gun, and a bright orange ball of arcane energy forms at the tip, and he fires a firebolt at the squirming, like whatever's squirming in the trash.
Sure, roll me to hit, please. A 13. So the trash kind of impacts. There's a bit of as the trash moves to the side, and this gigantic bag of eyes rips out from the trash and
No.
begins to hover.
Thank you. No.
Oh, sweet.
You're an ugly one, ain't
gods.
ya?
Is this normal?
This is leaning on the slightly odd side of things, but
To be
yeah,
fair-
we see shit like this all the time.
Yes.
What is it?
That's a good question, Dennis. Do we have a name for this creature?
Charlie.
Well, it depends how humorous you want. Some people could just call them giant bags of eyes.
Guessing I can't sneak up on this thing.
At this point, possibly not.
Nope.
So, Oh, by the way, so we do need Cream to roll initiative for Tahu. Is Cream still around?
Sorry, I kind of passed out.
Oh, dude, it's all good. Are you okay, man?
I'm
It
tired.
happens.
Hey, if
Just tired.
it's all good, man. I mean, do you want to carry on, or do you want to just tap out?
I think I might just tap out. You can just.
Yeah. It's all good,
I
mate.
haven't
It's
been
all
here the
good.
entire time.
Yeah, I figured. It's all good, mate. You just rest up and take care of yourself, all right?
Look after
Good night,
yourself,
guys.
darling.
Yeah.
Good night,
Cool.
Talia,
Stay
Cream.
hydrated.
Take care.
Yeah.
Hydrate,
Sweet
stay cool.
dreams.
Later, guys.
Be safe.
That
Okay.
being said, do you mind if I go to bed after this battle?
Yes, that is not a problem. I would say we have actually gone on a bit longer than I had intended. So,
Sorry.
how dare you? So, I'm just going to roll for the swarm, and what do you know? It goes first. So, this bag of eyes starts rolling towards you. At first, it's just, it only moves about 5 feet as it's rolling. Basically, it's almost like a big bag of basically just eyes. It's almost like a thin film covering the whole thing until it eventually bounces up and just heads straight towards you, hovering. So, let's see what it can do. First of all, now what's the range on the... Ooh... Every creature that occupies the same space as a swarm. Okay, that's nice. So, and it was over here. 20, 30. Okay, yeah. So this is what happens. Basically, the swarm comes and it covers Vorp, Gil, and Dot. And it is going to attempt an eye extraction.
Of course
Yeah.
it is.
Every creature that occupies the same space must succeed on a DC 13 Constitution saving throw or become temporarily blinded as their eyes strange from their sockets.
23.
You succeed.
Oh boy.
You ain't getting my eyes today.
Constitution
Constitution saving throw, please.
with
Or
disadvantage.
figured out the hidden trick of putting his hands over his eyes.
Luckily,
third
you
time.
succeed. You succeed. And lastly, Gil, Constitution saving throw, please.
Go on, Gil.
Come on, Gil. Oh
Gil.
no!
You are, for the moment, blinded. So, consider yourself... Basically, all your attacks are done with disadvantage.
Okay.
Okay. So that was its turn.
Don't worry, they grow back.
Next up is... it would help if I actually began the combat. I apologize. Next up is going to be Ang. Icy. Giant bag of floating eyeballs. What would you like to do?
Cream.
No. Cream's headed off.
Oh, I said scream.
Oh, scream. My apologies. Yes.
Yeah, I think it cut off the S.
Yeah.
Because I heard cream as well.
Oh, dang.
Not your fault. It's the
An
fucking
unarmed
mic.
strike. 18 is actually going to hit the creature.
25 flanking.
4 bludgeoning damage. Yeah, flanking's kind of a bit weird because technically it is all around you, so that doesn't really help you in this instance. Yeah. Anything else you want to do? Another unarmed strike. Oh, jeez.
Damn it.
I am so sorry. Those damage rolls. Heck yeah, just go to town on it. Let's see. An 11 is unfortunately not going to hit, and neither is an 8. So neither of those two, second attacks hit, I'm afraid. So is that your turn? I'm sorry, my dude. Next up is going to be the dog. What would the dog like to do?
It's like right there. I guess I'm gonna try and bite it.
Okay. If you want, you can try and get over to that square here or this square in order to get next to it.
Okay.
Okay. Roll me a bite attack, please.
Bite attack.
Bite attack.
Bite attack. Some others.
Attack with a bite. You're doing it right. Bite, bite, bite.
A 15 will hit.
Yay.
5 points of damage to the big scary eye thing. Okay.
It doesn't look like dog killed themselves.
Oh yeah, dog. You need to have a. Let me just see.
Oh, okay.
I've healed you. You're good.
Oh,
1 sec. There you go.
Mother, thank you.
It's all good. In fact, let me just hit the long rest button. That's just going to be easier. Okay, so is there anything else dog wants to do? Any bonus actions or anything?
Don't think so, but let me just double check.
Seedie's up next, by the way.
All right.
Did we agree that the toot was a bonus action, or is that just
Yes.
A...
It will, however, mean that Dot and Vorp are going to be in the line of fire. Let me just check. Yeah.
Oh no. It says in a 5-foot area. No, you're right.
Yeah.
Where did it go?
No, I'm just making it invisible so you can see where the other party members are.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, never mind then.
Okay. So next up is going to be Seedie. Graz is going to be on deck.
Alrighty. So flanking didn't work for Anne because these guys
They are currently absorbed by the creature.
Okay.
And technically,
So
as you're looking at it, you're not too sure if this is a single creature or if it's just a massive batch of different eyes.
Yeah.
Oh.
I wanna. If it's been collecting the eyes, I honestly have to wonder what did it start off as. And gonna poke the sack of eyes from over here.
Okay, roll me some poking action.
Yeah.
Uh, 15 will just hit because you've got advantage.
Alrighty.
Sneak attack damage. Okay. And 8 piercing as well. Okay.
Now use my offhand.
Oh, I apologize. You know what? No, it's fine.
What's wrong?
I just realized it's supposed... This instance, I'll be kind, but it was supposed to have resistance to some of the damage you've been doing. It's all good.
Alright.
Oh no.
But the pierce... A sack of eyes has resistance to piercing?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And your rapier, 17 will hit, so that's going to be half damage. Okay. It seems like it was surprised at first, but it seems to have toughened itself up a bit. So, is that all your actions?
He is going to. He's going to try and tank. Actually, how far could she move already? 5, 10, 15, 17.
I'd say you could move one more square.
Alright. Well, in that case, I won't bother. I don't know my turn.
Okay then. Next up is going to be Graz. Jurnis will be next.
Graz is going to back the fuck up. And she's going to aim for some of the larger eyes up top.
Okay.
Basically aiming high to avoid hitting per dot. So,
That will hit. Roll me some of that sweet damage. Okay. Second shot. Yeah, 27 hits. So, oop. Yeah. It's barely injured, but it looks like your shots are landing. It just seems to be resistant to a lot of the stuff you're doing to it at the moment.
Alright.
So, next up, unless there's anything else Graz wants to do, any bonus actions?
Not for the moment, no.
Okay. So, Jurnis, it is your turn. Gil, you are on deck.
Jurnis is also going to back the fuck up. She learned her lesson. She's not getting close to anything.
Mm-hmm.
And she is going to Eldritch Blast.
Okay. That will hit. I would say only the
come
first
on!
one. And you know, I'm going to be really kind and say that I will let you use the damage from the second one. Because, yeah, that's really unfortunate. So, yeah, the Eldritch Blast, it's going to do its full damage there. So that was 4 damage to the entity. Anything else?
She's then going to use Bardic Inspiration. And she's going to inspire... Who's up next? She's going to inspire Vorp. Because she wants to see this Koboldy boy do some damage.
Okay.
To be fair, so does Dot.
Yeah. So you get a d6.
Oh!
On the screen it says 2, but if you want, you can re-roll it yourself.
Yeah, it rolled. It wasn't supposed to roll. It was supposed to just show what it was.
It's all good. I'll allow you to re-roll if you don't like that result. So, Gil, it is now your turn. Vorp, you're on deck.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I have a question.
Yes. You are currently covered in eyes, and yours have stopped working for the moment. This is a very unpleasant situation. It feels like you're being slowly eaten by 1,000 teeny, tiny mouths.
Oh, great. Okay, never mind then. Can I... Is my arm with my needle free?
Yes, you are. I would say you're not grappled. It's just you're surrounded. It's like they're everywhere. It is disgusting.
Okay, well, since I can't see, I'll just try and stab it with my needle.
Okay, roll me some pokey damage. A 10, well, yeah, 5 even. That is unfortunately not going to hit.
Okay.
It's just like you madly jab around, and it's like you feel it go straight through, and it's almost like the eyes are just moving you out of the way, moving back.
Gross.
Do you have 2 attacks, or is it just the 1?
So it says... Sorry, I feel like my nose and my eyes are melting off my face. It says beginning at 5th level, you can attack twice instead of once whenever you take the attack action.
There you go. So yeah, you have 2 attacks. So you can try again.
Okay, let's try again.
A 16 will hit. Roll me some damage. Okay, 5 piercing. Reduced, unfortunately. So yeah, you're doing a little bit of damage. It's starting to look a little bit injured.
Yay.
Anything else you can do?
Hold on.
I would say this. Also, in regards to the thing, roll me a. Let me just double check this. Yeah, you can try and move out of the range of this creature.
Okay, I wasn't sure if I was like. Okay.
Yeah, you are not grappled. You can move.
Let's see, 30 feet.
As you pull away from the creature, you're going. Oh, yeah. You feel the weird nipping, biting get sharper, and you take 8 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
However, your ice vision starts to come back to you.
Yay. Okay.
Okay, next up is going to be Vorp. Skullface will be on deck.
Right, so this is a large creature, and I'm an exceptionally small lad, so I imagine being surrounded by eyes, these tower above Vorp, basically.
Yes. Above you, around you, in you.
Excellent. Then Vorp is going to thrust out his hands at a 45-ish degree angle towards the ceiling. And it's going to be a sort of arcane heave and this awful squealing as massive bolts of lightning suddenly shoot out of his hands.
Whoa!
Okay.
Vorp is casting lightning bolt.
Okay, it needs to make a dexterity saving throw. Fair enough. Okay, dexterity saving throw. It failed. It rolled a 14, so give me that damage, sir.
Alright. Hang on. There's a strange effect thing.
I know, right?
I didn't mean to put it there. I wasn't expecting that to happen.
It's so good.
If you could delete it for me.
Let me see if I can do that. Just bear with me just one moment. I know, it's not bad, is it? So, let me just... Boop. I don't know where the other one... I don't think I can actually adjust the other side of it. Yeah, no.
Now, just in case anyone's afraid, Gil is not getting hit. This is being shot at an angle.
Yeah. It's all good. So, and that... Holy shit! Okay, 1 second.
Is it still standing? Well,
it is there. I would say you hear a little as some eyeballs drop to the ground. It is very badly injured, but it is still here.
Nice.
Now there's going to be like this strange arcane fluttering, and like these technicolor lights are just going to sputter around Vorp. Like his clothes are going to flutter like chaotically as he activates some meta magic. And he's going to cast Lightning Bolt again.
Okay. Go for it. Dexterity saving throw. Sure. That's a 12. That's a fail. Hit me, baby. 23. Okay. Boom. Boom. Oh, wow. Yeah. It's looking pretty badly hurt.
Oh, jeez.
And that's how a jet fang does it.
Wow.
That's his turn.
When you're a jet fang, you're a jet fang all the way.
Okay. Skullface is gonna like look at all of that. Probably be a little bit surprised at how much damage he's done. Let's see. He's going to take. I would say let's make it nice and simple, and it's going to be 2 attacks with 1 with Hazel and 1 with Letitia. The first one, that was a 20. Second one, 25. Yes, so those are both going to hit. Okay, first one is going to be reduced. The second one is going to be that. This creature, if it weren't for the reduced damage, this creature would be dead. It is looking really freaking hurt now.
We finish it off then.
Next up, it is Dot.
Dot grabs her Ezzy Coven in a box, and she I'm sorry to everyone. I'm trying to bring my character sheet up. There it is. And she holds the Ezzy Coven up to the remaining eyes. She gets a snarl in her face. She's had a long day. And she says, and you all get the thick smell of lime as she says, have some citrus.
Okay. What are you doing?
Trying to cast it.
Okay. Acid arrow. Okay,
Yeah.
a 13 will sadly, in fact, a 10 because you are currently blind.
Yes.
That will not hit.
So yeah, but now everybody's covered in lime juice. So you know.
Yes. Eyeballs
blind,
with a
it was-
taste of lime.
You was blind, right?
No, all three of them are covered by it.
Yeah.
It's
I
covering
see.
Dot. It was covering Dot, Gil, and Zot.
Yeah.
Vorp, I'm sorry.
And Dot tried to like spray it with lime juice because its eyes, you know, citrus, acid.
Mm-hmm. Is there any bonus actions you want to try, Hun?
Yeah. Yes. I don't suppose she can go 2 steps back and then 2 steps forward to Goring Rush because it floats. Is that correct?
You can step out, although it is going to take an attack of opportunity on you.
That's fine. But I mean, I can do it even though it's floating.
Yes.
So
It's
she's
floating
gonna say-
around you. It's imagine
Yeah.
a cloud of ice. Okay.
Okay.
You
So one
take.
step.
Bear with me a moment, please. You're
Yep.
going to take 1d8 piercing, just 2 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
Not that dramatic.
And she comes back, and then she like gives it a shot. She's mad.
Okay. Make me a melee attack. So you actually need to click on the thing with your horns. So at the very top where it says weapons in your inventory, click horns.
Weapons. I'm sorry, I can't find it.
It's okay. So on your character sheet, you've got inventory instead of features. There you go. A 17 will hit, although you are I would say it's 17 hits. So roll me some damage, please. Just hit the button that says damage.
That she needed 20 feet running head start to do that.
I was trying to get her to go back 20 feet. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I will be kind and allow you to maybe have done it to say here, outside the cavern. I'll allow that. So half damage. I'm sorry. I just did that to Dot. No, I did that to you. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was going to say no damage because she's still at disadvantage from exhaustion, so she only rolled a 6.
No, that doesn't work on attack rolls, Hon.
Okay.
So, Dot, you basically trample into this creature as what few eyes remain just sag and goop, and it's like the ooze is disgusting, and the creature just collapses into a pile of gelid, liquefying eyes.
Snorting cow nostrils as she stomps.
I would say that's the point when you start hearing from over here and over here.
Oh, nuts.
However, given the fact that some of our players are feeling a little bit tired, it is entirely up to the group if you want to call it here and return next week, or if you want to press on.
I don't mind finishing the battle.
This battle will probably take the better part of 45 minutes, so I reckon it will probably be the better idea to stop it here, and we can come back fresh next week when we will have Cream and Frux back conscious.
Yes. That sounds
Because I would rather have you guys in the fight and having fun than struggling to stay awake and having no fun.
Yeah.
Can I say right off the bat, I'm immediately giving player of the game, well, my vote for player of the game to Vorp and his lightning attacks.
Very much so.
That did some damage.
For Vorp for being Vorp. I'm going to say play of the game for Vorp for being Vorp.
Why, thank you.
Okay. So, does anyone have any questions, comments, or theories before we roll things out? And I will end the dramatic music for now.
I'm calling these creatures the iCloud and you can't stop me.
Oh wow.
For those of you who are curious, they are actually called an oculoswarm, and they are from the Kobold Pressbook Tome of Beasts.
Hey, I have a pretty important comment.
Yes.
This is supposed to be a one-off thing.
Yes.
But since I don't have work on Friday, I don't mind at least doing one more session with Vorp.
Yeah.
I'm very happy to hear that.
Yeah, because I love playing this guy.
Yeah. Again, we always try and like get things to a certain like, okay, we're just going to do this, we're going to do this, and then we can get to this, and it just expands. It just becomes its own thing. It is what it is.
Yep, you literally spent an hour climbing a cliff.
Yeah. Yeah, you did.
Fuck you, it was hard.
But I'm glad to hear
didn't.
it.
Vorp was sleeping.
So I have several questions about these oculus swarms.
Yes.
So I'm assuming they are a collection of eyes it's gathered and added to itself.
Yes, they are.
So I have to ask, what do they look like at the beginning before they have a collection of eyes?
That would have to be something that you investigate later on after the combat has ended.
Guys.
But yeah, so before we tap out, I will say this: I had you roll odds or evens. This was the odds fight. I had a completely different encounter for evens.
Wow.
Guys, I don't mean to alarm you, but the caves have eyes.
Wow.
Oh yes, they do.
They do. They do.
So-
Get used to it. I mean, what are they gonna do? Just watch kobolds having sex?
Kinky.
Vouching about. Yay, that was an offer. The Queen did allow you access to a heaven. But anyway, moving on.
When you got Vorp.
Moving on. Unless anyone else has anything they wish to add before we close out.
Jurnis Grass just did not acknowledge that at all, did she?
The new ring that she has. She basically, what happened, for those who are curious, Jurnis tried to roll sleight of hand to put on the ruby ring that Skullface made for Jurnis onto her finger. Jurnis rolled fairly low. Graz was wide awake as it happened. She just didn't react. And after a moment, she just basically closed her hands over it and just hugged into Jurnis tighter. Basically it. Not much else to say, really. She's a woman of few words sometimes. She's wearing it.
Now I feel all warm and fuzzy.
Good. So, unless anyone has anything to add?
No.
Going down the list, that will be a very good night from our returning guest, Kubur.
Hi, everybody.
A very good night from our usurped guide, Gil.
Oh.
Hi.
We love Gil.
Yes. A good night from only one level of exhaustion, Dot.
Good night, everyone. Eat your cookies.
A good night from Seedie.
Stand, stabbing eyeballs usually hurts.
A good night from Icy.
Good night, everyone.
And last but not least, a good night from Jurnis.
I hate this place.
And
so very
dog.
much.
Well, Gil and Dog.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. And a good night to everyone. Take care of yourselves and see you all again soon.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
See y'all.